Hi everybody, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and I have just a few, I don't even know what I'm going to call this video yet. I am playing with Sylvia with Las Mimes Amores, one of her kits, and this one is called Spring Easter Love. And I have a journal that I'm working on, and I thought, well, let me make a fun, maybe different journal cover. So this is what I've come up with, and I just love these chickens. I think I've told you guys my mother had her kitchen decorated with chickens and roosters back in the 80s when I was growing up, and it had a lot of character and was very 80s, and I'm very reminiscent about it. So anyway, I thought having kind of a layered cover, all this is a single signature journal that I've been kind of playing in, and it has this fabric cover on it, but I haven't done anything. I just glued a page from Sylvia's kit on the back to sturdy it up a little today. But anyway, I've got a few little pieces I've made in here, and I want to make this one, I think, kind of a little more shabby chic and have some finishes with some lace and ribbons and some different things. And so anyway, I've got to decide. I think we're going to, we'll make one together, and then we'll decide which one I want to put on the actual cover. It's probably going to be the chickens, but we'll see. And then I also made this tag, and I really think it's sweet. It opens up, so you have a little journaling spot here. And then the back piece, I meant to put one of these, hold on, I'm gonna grab one of these little tags. I made a little tuck spot, a pocket. So we'll make one of those. That's super easy and just a fun little, extra way to make a tag. I'm trying to remember how I wrapped this. I think I did it like this, and I liked tying it and kind of having the, the little bow, the ribbon here towards the bottom of the tag instead of as a topper. I just thought that was a little different too. Not, well, if I could get it tied, it would be. Not that we can't also put something at the top if we want to, but anyway, that's what I came up with. Here in a second, I'm going to just set this aside and not worry about the bow. My fingers don't want to work for some reason. It's a wonky bow, Pam. And then, let's see what else I made. We'll set that aside. I used some of the pieces from the kit, but I made this big, tall pocket. And these are supposed to be, I guess, journal pages, but, I like to make other things too. So I made this big pocket, and then I clipped on, I thought about gluing this down. It's just some costume jewelry that came, I'll show you, in a little jar that I got thrifting one day. But I made this fabric pocket to tuck things in, and I think this is going to be super fun on a page in my journal. And I put that little bull clip on there, so I might even install it. I don't know. We'll see where it's towards the top. But I think this journal can handle, some bulk. Like I said, I'm probably going to add quite a bit to it as I go. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm just playing with the papers. There's fun ephemera in this kit. There's a lot of the double journal pages, and so that's kind of where my mind went, is how can I use all these pages and maybe layer them up and have some fun today. So let's make one of these big pockets first, just because I think I'd like to do that, because it wasn't hard at all, and it's fun to kind of see what we're doing. So I'm going to, even though, if you were going to put this in a journal signature, you would probably fold this exactly in half. I am not. I am going to offset mine okay? And we are going to, well, we could use the scoreboard to make this a little easier to fold. So, at the end of your paper, if you've already folded yours like mine, it's clear which end, but we're going to just score, I'm going to do a 1/2 inch. And I think, yeah, that'll be okay. I'll trim off the edge if I need to. Yeah, I'll trim off just a touch there, but it'll be a good size. And then along the bottom, go ahead and score this one. Let's do, well, we'll do a 1/2 inch so it matches. Okay, so we're just making a big pocket out of a double-sided, or not double-sided, paper that was intended to be, you know, journal pages. Fun. All right, I'm just adding some ink here because I want you to see. I'm going to trim out this section. Grab my scissors. So we're just going to cut it out just like this. And then I am going to just angle the little corners there, that corner, and right here, just to give it a little more of a finished look. Little triangles everywhere. Now, I enjoyed on the one that I made seeing the wraparound, but you can also, I'm having trouble with my words today, you can also do it like this and, you know, not see it. That's up to you. I do need to cut a sliver off of my paper. So if you're going to do this, it would be better to go ahead and score and then fold it over, and then you won't have to trim yours like I did. But trimming isn't the end of the world. Let's make sure it fits in there. No, I rarely crack this paper. And I think what it is I think I just pressed too hard in the scoreboard is what happened actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But look at that. It looks great. I love it. Okay. So let me get my glue out. And if you want to ink, go ahead and ink a little bit. And I'm going to ink the part that's hard to do after I glue it and worry about the rest later. Today I am using Vintage Photo. My walnut stain is sitting here on my desk too, but I started playing with these papers and for some reason went for the Vintage Photo today. And I decided I would go ahead and ink just a touch. Okay. Let me get all of that out of my way. All right, glue. So all we need to do is add glue to the flaps. We've made lots of pockets and other videos and things similar to this, so this should be familiar. But if you're new, welcome. Welcome to my channel. I hope you like the projects and you will come back and play with us. And if you are someone who's here on the regular, thank you guys for watching my videos. I appreciate you. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. All of your interaction is really helping my channel, and I'm very, very appreciative. All right, this is just beautiful paper. I love it. Okay, so I have some pieces. Let's see what I have left. I think I have a piece that'll work, yeah, of this fabric that I used. So let's see. Yeah, I think it's wide enough. When I wrapped this one, I just went around a little bit. And, you know, you could put a piece of paper over this if you don't want to see, you know, the edge. But I'm planning to glue this down in my journal anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so I just need to decide how deep I want the pocket. I think I'm going to not go quite as deep this time. And this is some vintagey fabric I got at, I'm saying vintagey because it looks vintage to me, but I don't really know. I don't really know how old it is. I got it at one of the craft consignment stores. Okie dokie. So all I did was, there's a little bit of a frayed part right there. This is the back side. I think it'll be okay. I can always put something on the pocket. I think it'll be okay. All right. I got it at one of the craft consignment shops. So there we go. I think it's gonna work. I kind of want to angle the corners, but I'm trying to remember. It was a little challenging and I had to kind of play with it, but we're just gonna go for it and we'll play with it like I had to. So for me, the easiest way to do this, I got rid of a little bit of the bulk, but I'm going to wrap, we're gonna glue down this bottom portion first. And I'm using my hot glue and I'm gonna start with just a bead right along this section, and then I'll add a little more. And I had my silicone spatula and it's buried somewhere. I've got to find it. I brought it up from the kitchen to use to press down my hot glue. Thank you. One of you suggested that. It was a great suggestion and it was working great for me till I lost it. Okay, but this will work too. All right, there we go. Now, before I completely glue the sides down, let me just make sure. Yeah, it looks good. All right, so if I can kind of, did not mean for those sequins to be right there on the edge. I think I can do it this way and it'll be okay. We're just gonna go for it. This is what I did last time when I said I kind of fiddled with it. So I kind of messed with the corner just a little bit. And hopefully I can get that to go down. All right. And a little extra. And like I said, if I wasn't going to glue these down onto a journal page, I would probably add maybe a piece of paper, glue it over top to protect these seams and give it a little more finished look. All right. I did learn I have to make sure I pull it fairly snug. It definitely does better if it's a little snug. So I hope I'm on camera and you guys can see what I am attempting to do. All right, fairly snug. Okay. My other one, it was a little floppy. I was able to fix it and I'm getting glue all over my fingers, but it's not burning me. So that's a positive, right? There we go. It's gonna be just fine. Okay, now we just have to let that glue dry a little bit. And I've got glue strings and glue on my fingers. Just having a whole lot of fun. Hey, it looks good. Now, I did add a piece of ribbon to the original, and I put a piece underneath so that I didn't accidentally glue my pocket closed, and then a piece on top. I think I'm gonna try, let's see how, I'm grabbing something, how a piece of this crocheted lace looks. So I was just thinking something different. The color looks about right. Let me see. I also have a little bit of this left. I'm thinking for the underneath piece, I do need something that's a little solid because I don't want the hot glue when I go to lay the ribbon or the lace on top. to, like I said, glue to my paper. So I guess I could have added the trim before I glued the pocket down. I didn't really think about it, but this works too. So I'm just trimming this piece of lace so that it easily slides right into my pocket. My sequins are flying off. I'll add the, when I add the glue, that'll help seal that. Okay, so that piece is there. And I think I am going to try a little piece of crocheted lace. Let's see if we like how it looks. Oh yeah, it's a completely different texture and I like it. Okay, so that looks to be about the correct length. Ouch, I just poked myself with the pen. All right, here we go. I'm gonna hold it and just do little tiny section at a time. There we go. I'll give it a second to harden up. All right, now I think I'm going to be brave and go for it. There we go. Hopefully that's enough. Now, the other thing I need to do is, yay, double check that I didn't accidentally glue it down. Okay, and let the glue dry, Pam, before you stick your fingers in it. Yay. All right, see how easy? But just because this fabric is so fun and you can see through it, I thought it made a wonderful, wonderful little pocket. And then let me show you guys while this has a moment to dry. I have my tools out. So I got this jar at an antique place, Crafter's Jewelry Jar, and there's all kinds of fun little pieces, and this is the piece that I pulled off for the other one. I don't want to do the exact same thing though. So I've got this little dangles looking, ooh, that's pretty. There's, I mean, there's just, it's all in a big jumble. Some of these almost, I mean, they're plastic. It looks like amber though. I don't know if that's plastic or not. It even has some of the little spots in it like amber does. I don't know. But anyway, I got the whole thing for less, like right under $10. And there was like a sale, so it was a good deal. Boy, those are interesting little baubles wrapped in fabric. Anyway, these were somebody's treasures at one point, you know? But it's definitely just, you know, old kind of junky costume jewelry beads, that kind of thing. So I think, oh, I like that one too. I think I'm going to go with that. That was easy, and I don't have to deal with this. Look, is that a dinosaur? That's too funny. Okay, let me put this away. Ah. And this is definitely one day going to end up on something because I just love those little beads, but not today. I'll try to keep it at the top, so hopefully it doesn't get messed up. Okay, so let's decide how we want to do this. I'm thinking I'll do it similarly with a little piece of this pink fabric. If I want to do it like I did the other, this is definitely not long enough. But I could do something a little different and attach it to the pocket a little differently, or I can cut another piece of the pink fabric. This is just a piece of pink satin, and this is vintage. I remember it from my daughter's, I think, 3rd birthday party. We did a little princess theme, and I had different pink fabrics of all kinds, and made a throne for her. draped one of the kitchen chairs and made it into a little throne. It was very sweet and cute, and I think she was happy with it. So, and I think once something is 20 years or older, right, it's vintage. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe even just gluing this one on right here. I'm just wondering if the weight of it is going to be too much on the pocket. That's the only thing, because this isn't, you know, it's very thin fabric. Maybe we'll just clip this one on to, I think I'm going to use just a gold paper clip on this one, and I'll worry about it later, think about it. But there's so many fun ways that you can use, you know, your old costume jewelry or beads or things. And I don't do a lot of that, but it really is fun. And by not putting it on permanently, we definitely have some options. So I am actually not happy with that. So I'm going to tie this on to the paper clip and see if I can become happy with it. There we go. Let's see what happens. All right, and that does allow it to kind of come down further. Yeah, cute, right? All right, we'll probably make something to go in the pocket in a minute. In fact, we'll make one of these and then we can tuck it into the pocket. So I don't have, oh wait, here, I do have a piece of paper, is the other side. This was a smaller little two-sided piece, so we'll just make another one with those same little chicks. So I just trimmed it up to be whatever width I decided. I'm gonna do, I believe I did that one 2 and, nope, I made that one wider. This one's gonna be not as wide. This one is 2 1/4. I think I did that one 2 3/4. So it'll be okay. It'll just be a skinnier one. All right. And then to make the wrap around portion, I used just, you know, a piece that I had. I'm going to just tear a piece of this because I do want the kind of torn fun edge. Okay, and I'm gonna finger tear this edge. And this may be too big because I don't want to cover up my chicks. And I make this little tiny tag. All right, as I was moving too fast, I ended up not needing those tools because I didn't take any jewelry apart. All right, so again, could not be any easier. We're gonna first add some ink, and if you want to print on both sides, go for it, or you can layer a different paper or neutral paper on the back. I'm fine with the white on mine. I'm just going to cut the top to make it into a tag shape, and get that done. Let's see, and add a little bit of ink. Oh, I covered the back because I put this little pocket. Let's see if I have a piece of paper. We're going to sacrifice this little flat envelope here. So we'll use it to layer the back of our tag. And I'm going to just glue it down like this, and then we'll cut it out. But let me make sure I don't glue it, you know, into the white part, and then I've defeated the purpose of layering my tag. All right, I'm gonna glue it about right there and we should be good to go. Okay, again, you can print on both sides and avoid this, but this also gives me a little bit sturdier tag. So, you know, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. There we go. And I'm just going to cut it out really quick. So I will, in the description of the video, link this paper kit in case you're in a springy love kind of mood too. I also, if you're interested in any of the supplies that I use when I'm paper crafting, you can visit my Amazon storefront. Not everything I use I get on Amazon, but quite a bit, especially, you know, what I consider my staples, my basics. So things like the paper I print on, some of my tools, ink, some paper pads, that kind of stuff. So there's all kinds of stuff to look at. The paper bags, all the different things, envelopes that I tend to use. All right, so then all you do is, I'm going to decide about where I want that to be on this edge, and then I'm folding it around. And again, it's a little bit wider than what I need, but it's not a problem. I'm just going to tear it off, because again, this back section is the part that's going to become a little skinny pocket. All right, so this is where I want it. This is the back. So you're going to add glue along this edge, the bottom, and I went ahead and came up that way, just whoops, to make sure it is held on well. And then we have a little tiny pocket in the back. The front, I'm leaving loose again, so we can write. I'm gonna have that kind of interactive element. Let's get a little eyelet. I'm gonna use my Crop-A-Dile to punch the hole. Any punch you want to use. And then, since my Crop-A-Dile is acting up, we'll use this old ancient thing that I don't think they even make anymore. I've had people ask me about this, and I do think you can still find them like on eBay and stuff, but they don't make the silent setter anymore. Okay, and I just haven't broken down and figured out. I've tried to replace the parts in the Crop-A-Dile like somebody suggested, and I'm still having trouble. My Big Bite works okay, so I use that, or the silent setter. I'm just not ready to spend more money on the Crop-A-Dile people right now. Okay, yay, cute. And then I used this twine, and I have that on the desk, but then I also, this really is my favorite. We're going to use a piece of this instead, and they'll just be a little different, and that's okay. Use whatever string, twine, ribbon, whatever you want. And I'm not quite sure how long, I need this to be. So this is kind of what I do. I know I'm going to be looping it through some, so I just wrap it around a little bit, and that usually works for me. So once I have this loop here, I just pick the two ends, pull it through like that, because I like how that looks. And then one of them I'll pull this way, and it's, it's too long, but it's better than being disappointed and not being able to tie your bow. You can trim it up. Okay. Yay. Very cute. I wonder if it's long enough for me to go around one more time. Just because, since I went a little generous with it. I think if I adjust it, let me fiddle with it just a moment so you guys can see what I'm thinking. If I make one side longer, than the other. Let me flip it back through. All right, now I've got to make sure I take that longer end. Let's do 1, 2, because this is very skinny twine versus the thicker twine I used on the original one. Let's see what happens. And hopefully I'll have better luck tying this bow than I did earlier in the video. Wow, guys, that was frustrating. Cuteness. I like it. All right. And you know, just fun, different, right? And you can decorate the tag more too if you want to. But how cute is that, right? So cute. I mean, both of those will go in there. Look how sweet. I love it. I love both of those. Now this one was just, and I clipped it, but just a little tag. Again, these are just pieces from the kit that I grabbed, and then I just clipped them together. And I did like having that little bit of gold in the clip with this very, you know, gaudy, gorgeous little bead that I had. Okay, so there's those. Now this is really easy, but it's just picking, you know, your papers, and I did a bunch of tearing, and so this will give us a chance to look a little bit more at some of the papers. So let's just see what we can come up with really quick. I have no idea how long I've been crafting, but I've been having fun. If you're still with me, glad you stayed. So, ooh, and maybe we could use one of these ovals. There's some pages with some ovals too, which are fun. All right. Why don't we start? I love these flowers. Why don't we start? I'm just going to be brave and pick one to start with. And this is literally all I did, is I just went through for that bottom layer and I did a finger tear. And I know sometimes it's hard to imagine just tearing your paper, because what if you don't like it, right? But I'm being brave and it's gonna be okay. I am trying to make sure that I keep the white core on this skinny strip. I'm trying to figure out how to explain what I'm talking about. By tearing this layer down, you know, up, and this one down, so that the white ended up back there, so I don't have as much of the white showing on this layer that I'm going to use. I don't know if that made any sense, but it did in my head while I was trying to say it. So, all right, fun, fun, fun. Again, I love all these flowers, and I kind of like I said, knowing I'm going to leave it a little loose, even though it's the cover. I really think it's going to be okay. All right, here are some little chicks. It's kind of similar to the idea of, I don't need this glue gun anymore. I'm going to get it out of my way. It's similar to the idea of the roosters, but chicks. So let's cut them out. And see what we can come up with, because I definitely want to have, you know, some smaller layers and some different things. Now, we can utilize this piece. In fact, we'll tear it this way. I don't know if I want it to be longer, you know, we may or may not use that one, but there we go. We have those two. There's the chick. It may make sense to use a piece of this one instead. It'll coordinate, right? But that layer, whoops, will be a little bit smaller. And again, these don't need to be perfect by any means. I just didn't like that angle that happened there. And it is fun, I think, to have some torn edges. So we have those layers. And then, again, just look at all the faux stitching. Is that not fun? I'm just really in love with these papers. Lots of chicks. Ooh, this bird. I really meant to use this in my in something, and I didn't get to it, but it's okay. All right, I'm gonna get my ruler, and I want to make kind of a skinnier layer. So I don't want to cover up too much of this one, but I want to have another color kind of coming through. Get it a little bit smaller. Let's see how it looks. Yeah. And then maybe we'll also do an oval. Okay. So again, it really is just what looks good to your eye. And you get to have what I think will be kind of a cool interactive element on the front. Now, depending on the kind of journal or the style, you know, this kind of loose, scrappy journal cover, you know, may not be the best choice. It definitely, you know, I don't know. It wouldn't be the sturdiest option if this is going to be a journal you're going to want to like throw in your bag and take with you or something like that. But if it's a journal that, you know, you're going to work on at home and have a, you know, a special place for, I think it would be totally fine. So, you know, just give that a little thought when you're going through that process, because trying to close that, you know, it may not be the best option. I'm just willing to concede that. But I do think it's different and I like it and I wanted to try it. All right, so I'm going to get these kind of layered so you can see them. And then I used my slot punch. See, I think I'm gonna move those over in the chicks. I want to punch my hole approximately in what looked like the center. Ooh, I didn't even get the back layer. I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that though. We are going to use our glue. So I'm going to keep everything lined up, and I'm just going to add a touch of glue right along here and make this a back layer attached to the next layer. I hope that made sense. And then that way my ribbon will hold everything else together, but the glue is going to hold that layer to this layer. Be careful when you're punching your hole. Okay, I do want to use a piece of the pink, so we're going to have to really quick, if I can find my scissors, I'm just going to have to snip a piece. So all I did was I got it approximately the width I thought I wanted, and this really frays, guys. But that's okay, because I'm using it as ribbon, and it's all right. And I'm just pulling the strings off. I have little itsy bitsy strings and all kinds of stuff on my sweater again today. All right. Let's see. I thought this was going to be like a super quick video, but I think I've been crafting for quite a while. It's a good thing I didn't have to set the timer today, right? Okay, now this has obviously come loose, so I'm going to just thread my ribbon through the holes, and then we'll kind of play with it and get it lined up the way we want it. Cute. Cute, cute. And then all I did was I tied one little tie just like that. watch is telling me to get up and walk around. Okay. I like it. I love that rose under there. Okay. I'm going to trim it just a touch. And put that to the side. I'm glad I'm using that fabric that I've kept in my life all these 20-something years. You never know, right? And who knew when I was planning that sweet little girl's birthday party that one day it would become part of my craft project. All right. So, oh, real quick. Okay, so let's decide which one. All right, there's the roosters. And here's the chicks. I like them both. I really do. The blue definitely brings something. But then I love this pink. And there's some blue there. Well, I turned off the hot glue gun. So guess what? We aren't going to glue it down. But leave me a comment. Tell me, chicks, like baby chicks or chickens. It's not a rooster. Baby chicks or chickens for the cover. Let me know what you think. And I hope you guys liked these ideas and we'll make some. Thanks everybody. Until next time, have a great one.